गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वादिसाक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं त्वं नमामि. Offering my unconditional surrender at the lotus feet of my beloved Guru, Shiva Balayogi, I greet you all with my love and blessings. Due to some travels, sorry, I couldn't be online on the usual Saturday. So that's why we thought of keeping a special session for your sake. I'm here online, and so nice to see you all. I'll just have a quick look of the gallery who are all there. Wonderful. All familiar faces are there. Yes. Just like when you want to drive a car and you sit in the driver's seat, it is important that you know how to drive a vehicle. And also your attention needs to be on the road, right, left. So you should know all methods properly. So then your driving will be successful. In the same way, when you sit for meditation, you should know the purpose, what you are supposed to do, and the technique you should have understood. No matter you would have been hearing me for last 10 years, 20 years, 15 years, listen one more time. Forgetting the outside world, remain relaxed. Don't feel excited or nervous or in a rush. Peacefully, skillfully, you have to control your mind. When you close the eyes, your effort is to keep quiet mentally. That is the first point you need to understand. Any vision or any thought that might occur in your mind, you are not supposed to bother about them. You are not supposed to analyze or make any judgment, anything, think about them. So that is the watching process. Watch means, watching in between eyebrows means just watch. I remember the old story my master used to tell, though it is a funny story, fun about the disciples of, he used to make fun of me sometimes as a Paramanandaya's disciple. So that guru was, in olden days, he used to sit in a bullock cart and the disciples used to go trekking behind it. So he asked the disciples, take care and keep an eye if anything falls down. So after going a certain distance, the Guru notices all the important things in the bullock cart have fallen down, it is not there. So he asked the disciples, what happened? Okay, Master, it all went on falling down, it fell down on the way. Oh my God, what were you all doing? We were watching, Master. You asked us just to watch and we were watching. So then, that is the thing. But that was a different situation, different instructions. Keep an eye, keep watching means take care of that, and you should have brought it back to the bullock cart if it fell down. That's what it means. Suppose I go away from the ashram and I tell my disciples in the ashram, please take care, keep an eye on the ashram. So they are supposed to look after. And then they should not tell a robber had come, we were just watching. But here in meditation, when I ask you to just watch. Because these robbers, this garbage is very infinite. You cannot touch, you cannot catch. You are just made to watch. You just watch here. You will be the right. You will be right. You are doing the right thing when you just watch. Any thoughts or any visions come, don't bother why that thought is there. and what is the meaning of that thought. During meditation, it is not necessary. You just have to watch. They are going away. Then only they will disappear. As I told, the thoughts are mental creation, infinite form. If you keep quiet, thoughts will disappear. As long as you hold on to the thoughts by analyzing, by thinking, by making judgments, the thoughts will always be there. It won't disappear. So that's what happens. So you have to just watch when you close the eyes, gently in a coaxing type of way. You don't have to do anything else. Then you will feel very relaxed. That's all. Don't feel irritated. Don't rush if something doesn't happen easily. It will take time. I am with you all here. My blessings are there. We pray to our Master to be with you all. So now we will straight away go for meditation. All of you relax, sitting in any comfortable posture. Keep your eyes gently closed. Keeping the eyes closed, concentrate your mind and sight in between eyebrows and just keep watching there. That's all you have to do. Do not repeat any mantra or name, and do not imagine about anything. And do not open your eyes till I recite a prayer and will ask you to open the eyes. May you all be blessed. Brahmanandam Paramasukhadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvam Dvatetam Gagana Sadrusham Tattvamasyaadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tvam Namami. All of you can slowly open your eyes. One important teaching of my Guru: you are the best judge for your mind. So you need to be sincere for yourself. And you can never cheat yourself. These are his teachings, important. So only then you can achieve and you will get. And afterwards, do not complain that God did not give me, Guru did not tell me, this did not tell me. He used to tell, not me. Swamiji used to tell. Wonderful, good children of the divine. Michael, I can take questions now.
Babaji, is there a particular time, a place that you should choose to sit for meditation, and the time that you should choose, and also the position that you should be in when you're doing meditation? These are the things that I would like to know, because I've
Generally, my Guru did not prescribe any particular time. His nature was like that. Just get into the job. Mentally be strong, determined. You have to do, you have to do. Don't wait for any symptoms, any options, any good omens, any bad omens, nothing. Just go ahead. However, trying to be a bit lenient, I would tell, if you choose a particular time and sit down with discipline, at that time every day you are likely to get that what you call that attraction and that restlessness that you have to sit and do it. So try to stick to one particular time. That will give you a better discipline. And also for beginners, a sanctified place. Try to make an altar of any deity you like or any symbol that you like. that will give you a better vibrative options. So that is the important thing. Then if you practice, you will get that inspiration.
So what about position, sitting position? Can you sit anywhere in a chair or on the floor, which is the best to be done?
Yes, posture also is okay. You can sit on a chair, on the ground, anywhere that you are comfortable, in any posture. Just try to keep the back and neck straight. If necessary, you can keep some pillow onto the wall and then try to sit straight. That is all.
Pranam Babaji. Babaji, I want to ask one thing, that once some 20 years back, I was offering water to Shivalingam at my local temple. The water starts oozing out from, some cool water started oozing out from my this Kapal area. So I want to know the significance of this.
You see, when you offer water to Shivalingam, your mind needs to be there. That is the significance of your offering. So, if any such water is appearing, what experience that you had on your Kapala, that means you are totally absorbed into the Shivalingam. You are in a bhava, in a feeling of Lord Shiva. That's when you would have likely to have experienced any such vision, so any such experience.
Also, I want to know, like sometimes while meditating, my back starts stooping, and then I straighten it up, and then again slowly, gradually starts stooping, and then again I straighten it up. Is it okay to do so?
It is recommended that you try to keep your back and neck straight. Try to sit onto a wall with a pillow if necessary and try to keep it straight so that eventually you don't fall asleep is important.
Thank you, Babaji.
I have two questions. First of all, if you're doing correctly or if you're following the Swamiji's method correctly, how would we know? And second is, after my, basic life, which I'm, living right now as a grahist life, can I, after my, completing my life, 50, 60 years, can I join the Dehradun Ashram? That's my second question. Thank you.
Meditating in the right sense, more peace in the mind descends. Thoughts and visions all decrease eventually, and you will not be hurt or agitated very quickly. You will have more peace and composure, and more patience will come to you, and you will remain composed. These are the real symptoms of progressive meditation. Other thing, if you are a grahastha and if you have children, they need to grow and settle well. So do not be in a rush. When that stage comes that you would have fulfilled all duties as a husband, as a father, then we will see, we will review the situation, what is your mind's attention, what is its need. Then I can definitely advise and help you.
One question is this direction of, I read somewhere in the meditation, during the tapas of Shiva Balayogi, he is completing different directions, right? Each direction, east, south, like that. So can you explain that significance of that? Is it relevant for us also, like sitting in or mastering different directions of that?
One thing, the Jangama sage who appeared in front of my master when he was young and 14-year-old made him to sit tapas. He guided Swamiji into sitting into different directions. So thus he just went on doing. So whenever we asked Swamiji, he used to tell, my Guru said and I did it. More than that, I never thought why I should be doing, what is the significance. Probably to lose the effect of directions in the mind. Like when you stand on the earth, you have directions north, south, east, west, northeast, all these things come. Suppose you are taken to the center of space somewhere, where no planets, nothing is there, you would have overcome the effect of all directions. So in the mind also, when you meditate in all these directions, so eventually you would have overcome the effect of directions, and you will have experienced the oneness of the divinity that is all pervaded. So that is
Oh,
the...
is it the same for the directions or in the body also? For example, for me, what is happening after some time, I am the losing the awareness here. That means the focus here is losing, and I am going to know nothingness, like no space or no particular location specifically.
Exactly, that's what happens. So when the mind is able to gather 100% here, then it lifts the body consciousness also. They both become one mass and gets detached from the brain. So even a small glimpse of such an experience happens, you lose the location after that one. So you don't feel that location. So it's like going to the center of space. Exactly.
Thanks, Babaji.
Charan Sparsh Babaji, I'm so happy to be here. My question is regarding energy management. There is this concept that people say that we must know how to manage our energy. So, can you please tell us a bit about that?
This energy is a part of the mind. In fact, mind is made up of both consciousness and energy. Consciousness means wherever you apply your mind, your consciousness, you become aware of that existence. Just like when I am talking, if you apply your consciousness to me, then you would know what I am trying to convey. This consciousness has energy in it, so mind is both. This is the ancient time Shiva and Shakti concept the sages gave. Shiva is your existence in total thoughtlessness state, nishcheshtit. So that is the pure consciousness. And energy, these two are inseparable, consciousness and energy. So to manage this energy, if you simply control the mind and become the master of your mind, then you would have controlled the energy and you can manage very well. Just like when you become the master of your mind, when you want to think, you can think. When you don't want to think, you don't think. You remain quiet and relaxed. Just like when you want to drive, you drive. When you don't want to drive, you don't drive. In the same way, this meditation can help you to manage all energy levels, everything, when you become the total master. When you become the principal of a college, you can control all other teachers, students, everything. Like that, you become master of your mind. You practice meditation. So at all levels, wherever energy you need to apply, so you can manage very well and you can live like a genius. Means you can remain better focused in all your works. You can apply your mind and use your brains also to the best of your ability. So this becomes possible.
Thank you, Babaji. Thank you so much.
I had a question about the Black Lives Matter movement. The harm is still present from like historical oppression and stuff, from like colonialism and like the slave trade and stuff. So I'm just wondering, like, how do we forgive that, and how do we bring justice to all like the atrocities of the past?
You see, always remember, a past, once it is over, it is not going to come back under any circumstances. There is no technology that the earth will start revolving backwards. It's going forward. A certain wrong thing has happened. It is sad, but there is no point. If you don't forgive and forget, it can be playing on your mind and troubling you in the present. So you have lost the past, you are going to lose the present. That is important. And there is a beautiful future. You can work to overcome these human injustices. And you can talk about these things. You can appeal to people so that we need to see all humanity as equal and one. We should not be oppressing anybody. We need to consider about each other. This is the part of spiritual teaching also. As I have told, as you observe exercises to take care of your physical health and then mental health, if every human being is mentally healthy, they will learn to consider a larger cause, consider about each other, love and honor to each other. If I am hungry, you will also be hungry, others will also be hungry. That type of consideration will come. So you can work towards this. You meditate very well and try to spread the message of meditation to others. That is the best way to teach humanity to remain in equality and consideration to each other.
Pranams, Babaji. Babaji, there in Viveka Chudamani, there is a beautiful sentence. It says, "Thou art that." And you have given a lovely explanation of that. I was wondering if you could talk a little more about it?
You see, in ancient times, when sages realized the truth, it was such an awesome experience. They called it as that, tattva, tattva-masi, means that. They also realized the self, like I tell, amongst millions thoughts in your mind, one is not a thought, it is a reality, is the consciousness of your existence. This consciousness of existence is that truth, nothing but. So when this gives up all its imaginations and merges with that truth, so that is how they said, some people said, you are that, or I am that. So this I is not the I that I was imagining earlier. This I is that. This mind is not the me. That individually imagined self would have disappeared by then when you would meditate and realize one day. So only that one single self exists all pervadedly. So that's what the meaning of thou art is that.
Thank you so much, Babaji.
Yeah, thank you, Babaji, for your wisdom. I truly appreciate all your guidance and helping us to go towards God realization. Since you say that our goal is to be in a state of blissful consciousness, and we achieve that through meditation and through our sadhana or through our good actions, good deeds. And when we feel sometimes in that state, how can we be sure that this is not our imagination or hallucination, but that I'm truly being in that state? You know, sometimes when you say you have to be aware, don't be too egoistic, don't presume that you attain a certain state. So I just wanted to make sure between true veracity of being in that state as opposed to eliminating our own mind.
When there is no imagination, there will not be any vision or any thought. Simply a serene quietness will be there. But you will have that feeling that you exist without any thought of what that existence is. So that is the truth of existence. That's what, like Adi Shankara has told in Viveka Chudamani also, when your conscious is not into any type of imagination, know that as the truth. So that as the real peace, supreme peace. So when you have this, that is the experience. When you have this, and slowly you have to practice so that it remains there at all times. Means when the outside world's circumstances also may be happiness or unhappiness, but inner consciousness for you shall remain at peace at all times. So that is the symptom of real peace.
Babaji, thank you for your blessings.
Okay, Babaji, actually, I have been highly disciplined, 5:30 to 6:30 every day. I'm sitting in the same place, same stan, and I'm doing meditation, Babaji. But my thoughts are not got reduced. Probably, maybe they must have gone up. If you see, I mean, my simple question is, how long, like a beginner, to get these thoughts reduced, and the anxiety and stress has to go away. But I'm following exactly all the tips, all the rules, regulations of the meditation.
And listen to
Maybe
me. I'll pay your attention. The answer is in your question. First, you said you are very disciplined and you sit from 5:30 to 6:30. This is the physical body that sits. You need to be same disciplined in your mind also. It has to sit quietly from 5:30 to 6:30. So then it is there. That's what it is. And also you told that you have been following all rules and regulations. So you go to a doctor will examine you and will ask you to observe certain rules. You don't eat this, you eat like this, and then gives you medicine. After some time you come back, you tell that, doctor, I have been following all your rules and regulations, but yet my illness is not cured. Doctor will examine and will immediately understand that you are not following all rules and regulations that the doctor prescribed. This is, I am telling, for education. I fully understand. I don't intend to accuse or find any faults. But this is the thing. Unknown to us, we fail in meditation because we don't follow. Now I have told that you just watch in between eyebrows and just keep on watching. So every time you sit down, some amount of purification does happen. So if thoughts are still coming and troubling you, means you need to have the patience, because mind has gone out of control since time immemorial, since so many lives perhaps. It will simply take some more time. Some cleansing has happened always. You may not notice immediately because mind stirs and all the subconscious things starts coming. So garbage is being thrown out. So don't bother that the garbage is increasing. There is no increase of garbage. Already the garbage that is in your consciousness, that is coming out, that is all. So just need to have patience. Assure yourself you are on the right path. It will be all right. We pray and we bless you.
Thank you, Babaji.
Well, Babaji, nice to see you again. Fasting. Despite of looking of our health with fasting, is fasting as well a way of taking control of our mind? Can you please talking about this?
You see, a fasting is done so that your body, physical body, doesn't become too lazy by eating too much, and then you should not feel sleepy. So fasting should not be too much more than that is necessary. Only to a certain capacity that you have for a while is good enough. So then you have to meditate for mind control. Simply by fasting, you cannot achieve mind control. Remember, if you have read Bhagavan Buddha's teachings and his story, Buddha, when he came to forest from his kingdom, first he followed some priest's advice and went on fasting. He could not find peace. He says at one place, my stomach was touching my back. I had become so thin, but peace was not coming to me. Then he gets up and goes to the village. From a young girl, he begs some food and gets the yogurt rice, eats it, and at peace he comes back and sits under that tree, and then his meditation progresses very well. That is how my master also advised, eat a little bit, don't fast too much, that the mind becomes restless and it cannot come under control. So the middle path, you follow the middle path is advisable. Even in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, those who eat too much also cannot do yoga. Those who do not eat at all also cannot do yoga. Take middle path, then you will find better to control your mind.
Pranam Babaji. Babaji, in one of your previous lectures, you've mentioned that God is a concept. Babaji, is time and space also a concept?
Yeah, when I would have talked like that, sometimes it is likely that my English grammar could have been wrong. I would have thought something and I would have told something. But I will explain now. When I had told concept means that existence is there, that truth. About that truth, you can call in any name or no name, that God, gravity, energy, anything, it is the same. Just like you can call this room is filled with space, or you can call this room is void with space. So that's what I would have tried to explain. So if you want to call that as God, there is no harm. If somebody is not going to call that as God, you don't have to feel sad, disappointed. So when a truth is discovered, a person, if they have to present that truth based on their cultural background, language that is prevailing, so they would have called it. That is how God is a concept, means to tell that God is not a person who is sitting in the space somewhere. God is, that is the all-pervaded. Like your mind is infinite, in the same, that is the clue. Its ultimate truth is recognized as God. So that's what I would have tried to explain.
Okay.
Got it?
So, yeah, thanks, Babaji. Babaji, another thing, I just wanted some clarification. You've mentioned consciousness is energy, and mind is consciousness and energy. So when we are meditating and we are focusing at the tip of our forehead here, does the concept, as we are concentrating and meditating, and the concentration becomes more focused, does the consciousness expand greater and greater?
Yeah, you see, as you lose the narrow-mindedness and the imagination that you as the physical body, so then the consciousness expands. If you remember, often I have given the example, like if you belong to a home and a street, in that town if somebody asks, where are you from, you will tell your house number, your street name. But if you go out of the town, you will tell the town's name. You go out of the state, you will tell, I am from this state. You go out of the country, you would call that I am from such and such country. If you go from Earth to some other planet, if you meet somebody and they will ask you, where are you from? You will tell, I am from planet Earth. See, the consciousness expands. From a small home, you belong to a larger space of Earth. So once when we all realize that we all belong to one single space, then we all realize that oneness that comes. So that's how the consciousness expands as you meditate and you give up your narrow-mindedness and you are that this individually imagined self. When you realize you are that.
Okay. Thank you, Babaji. I understand. Thank you.
Babaji, my question is in relation to Maunam or practicing silence. Does that act itself of practicing Maunam will help in the mind activity, or will that help during meditation as well?
It will definitely, to some time, if possible, half a day or if a whole day, if you can practice this Maunam, silence, observing silence, it can be very helpful because mouth is one of the most strongest organs in our body that we indulge in this world. We cannot keep quiet. We become a chatterbox. When we meet a friend and we want to talk, we go on talking, when we don't have control over ourselves. Through that also, mind absorbs imprints. To a certain extent, at least once a week, once a month, if you practice this total silence for a whole day, means don't get involved with anyone. Like during retreats, I tell people, you do not talk to anybody, do not allow anybody to talk to you. Maintain that type of silence so that you remain focused into this work of meditation. So it can be very helpful in meditation also. It reduces the restlessness of the mind.
Thank you, Babaji.
Babaji, I know how poisonous the alcohols are. What about caffeine and tobacco and cannabis on the spiritual path?
I'm unable to hear these words, what you told.
So I think Babaji, he said, he was asking that alcohol, he knows the problems of, but what about tobacco and other substances like tobacco?
Generally only I can talk. I have not done research about each and every ingredients what you are talking. Anything that is harmful to physical health must be avoided, and anything that can be intoxicating to the brain must be avoided. This is the general rule which we all learned as children also. I would advise the same thing. If tobacco is harmful to physical health, so you must avoid taking that one. Knowingly, you must not take. So probably if you talk to a medical expert or any such experts in this field, so they can advise you better how much harmful the tobacco is. We do get to see advertisements. So people, they want to sell the product, but in a small font letters, they give a statutory warning, this is harmful to your health. So this can cause cancer, this can cause this thing. So seldom a person's attention goes to that small warning, but they get attracted to this big advertisement. So one needs to be careful so that you don't lose your physical health and mental health. These are all very important and precious. When we lose a small organ, even a small finger, then we understand the value of such an organ in our body, how much helpful it was with us. Then we feel so sad about it. So before that happens, before the remedy you have to go for, prevention is better than cure, what we were told as kids by our teachers.
Babaji, I just want to know, is Vedanta and Bhakti Marga all leads to meditation eventually, finally, and to final goal? And how are they interrelated?
Yes, you see, finally your mind has to become quiet, means it has to merge, whether through Vedanta, Bhakti Marga. Bhakti Marga's highest pitch is like Meera was devoted to Krishna. In her consciousness, only Krishna existed, not even Meera ever existed. So that much of merger must happen. Then the consciousness becomes quiet finally. So when you merge, your conscious merges with a beautiful scenario, it is called dumbfound. So it becomes so inexplicable. You don't know what to say. So that type of thing has to happen. So that is what you are practicing in meditation, trying to become quiet totally in every way, mentally, in all the terminologies. So that will lead. If you follow the right techniques in the right sense, bhakti doesn't mean that we take some camphor and do arati and finished. No, your consciousness has to be applied there. It has to merge with that deity so that there is no second thing exists. Only oneness you have to experience. So that's what it leads to meditation only.
Hari Om Babaji. My question, Babaji, recently I heard a talk where there was a talk by Sadhguru, and someone had asked Sadhguru, how do I achieve enlightenment? And Sadhguru's answer was, are you happy in your life? Have you achieved happiness in your life? So if you have not even achieved happiness in your life, then you should not even think about self-realization and enlightenment, because it is beyond your grasp, beyond your achievement in this life. So I just want to know Babaji's view on this. Are they is happiness and self-realization, are they mutually exclusive, or is it something that we can achieve at the same time?
Without commenting on any other guru, I would just give my opinion. So we would encourage anybody can achieve that self-realization. All that you need to have is determination, understanding of the need. So when you achieve self-realization, you have the supreme peace. If you have achieved supreme peace, means you have achieved self-realization. Both happens one with the other. So otherwise the other would not come. If you have achieved happiness, means so you would have achieved self-realization, only real happiness comes. Not by eating an ice cream, happiness is achieved. A permanent. You remember my teachings, all the 12 months, 24 hours, the happiness should be there. So that comes only when this happens. When you are self-realized, you have that peace and happiness. So that anybody can try to achieve.
Thank you, Babaji.
Hi, Babaji. Thank you so much. I have a question on sometimes with meditation, I notice that you get a lot of peace and happiness. And then when coming out, sometimes the mind wants to jump kind of back into the world because of that peace, because there's kind of this sense of happiness. So how do we just make sure that we maintain that sort of inner silence and kind of keep that kind of retained and held back, despite maybe that tendency and habit? Because I noticed that habit is still very strong. So how do we just kind of overcome that habit?
That's what the most important, alertness. In Ananda Ashram retreats, if you remember, I have spoken about tennis match. The opponent is going to hit and you have to be alert and hit again, and you are winning. You are about to win the match and suddenly you can make unforeseen errors and lose your alertness and concentration. The opponent can come back from a low level and then win the match. This is also same, a dual battle between you and your mind. You are nothing but your mind, mind is nothing but you. You have to remain alert and don't give up when such a peace comes. Hold on to that so that you make it natural and effortlessly it is there like that. Until then you don't give up. That is what is known as deeper meditation and tapas. Your patience to ability to remain quiet at that time is what is the tapas. Several years of these things people practice and then they achieve that self-realization. Means once for all, mind would have abandoned all cravings and settled into the self and remain there contented at all times. Till then, you have no rest. You cannot afford to lose that concentration and alertness.
Thank you.
So this question is this technique which with the teaching the meditation, right? The focusing on the technique, and there is another part of the initiation or the direct receiving from you. I personally I feel the huge difference between these two, because as a person I was practicing before the same technique for many years and I didn't have any experience at all, any experience, zero experience. Then I used to try to force myself, create that experience, deep breathing, some other kriyas and a lot of other things I tried. Again, there, if I am very honest, zero experience. Little bit some hallucination is there, that's all. Then same technique, almost same technique I got from the Vijnan Bhairava Tantra, the same technique I was doing. Then when I somehow I read and I got it, and when I am about to meet you, when I just entering the room, I remember still that just entering the room, you don't even see me and you are there a little bit. When and even this is I'm very 100% sure now also, like I don't have any acceptance or any bhakti or anything like that. That's such okay. So I was just entering, then suddenly all of that vibrations here is happening. Then so far from that day until now, it is very effortless because there is something happening here only. My job is just watch and do this, and this is the expand, and I go into that thing. So can you explain? I think that is the real secret rather than discussing everything. Can you explain that one little secret little bit so that I can or anybody can get benefited out of it?
I don't know, it's the divine's work, automatic divine activity. When you are connected to the divinity, it is that divinity which works actually. So that is manifested in a better way. And when your faith or when your consciousness gets connected to that, so then you experience that energetic force when we initiate also. So something like that only. More than that, there is no resolution from my side that it has to happen like this, because the mind has disappeared, the individuality has disappeared. It is totally quiet and in the self. So when you get connected to the self, probably some people do experience these vibrations. It can happen.
Correct. Thanks. All blessings and
so wonderful. I appreciate all your participation by taking out your precious time. Keep practicing. Next Saturday we would have reached Dehradun Ashram and we will see you from there. We will participate. I will come online. May you all be blessed. All my love and blessings to all of you.